Tesla Megapack units to power largest battery system in New York City. 11 Tesla Megapack units will power the largest battery system in New York City. Con Edison's project will bring greater reliability to Staten Island customers and support the transition to clean, renewable energy. Con Edison will commission the largest battery system in New York City, boosting reliability in Northeast Staten Island. Matthew Ketchke, Con Edison's president, said Tuesday. The system is located at a substation in the Fox Hills area. It can store 7.5 megawatts and deliver that electricity to consumers within 4 hours. This will take the load off Con Edison's electrical system in the area when power demand is high, which occurs in the late afternoon and evening hours, especially during the summer. We are deploying batteries to help maintain the industry-leading reliable electric service that our region needs and our customers deserve, said Ketchke. The advent of large-scale energy storage technology also greatly increases our opportunities to integrate clean, renewable power into the mix and transition to a low-carbon future. Batteries complement renewable energy from wind turbines and solar panels, making it as useful as possible. Batteries store energy that is generated by renewable resources, but which is not needed by customers at a particular moment. Batteries release this power when energy demand exceeds production. The system, rated at 7 megawatts 30 megawatt-hours, will contain enough electricity to charge 1.5 million mobile phones. In addition to using the system for reliability, Con Edison will sell the system's services to the state's wholesale electricity market, generating revenue that will benefit customers. This system includes 11 Tesla Megapacks as the manufacturer's batteries are proven to be the best on the market. The system has passed a thorough safety inspection by the New York City Fire Department. Source: reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. Tesla's NACS connector is being made mandatory for state funding. Tesla's North American charging connector NACS is being made mandatory for state funding in some regions. As it is becoming obvious more areas are interested in adopting the automaker's charger to make EV charging more available. Washington became the second U.S. state to note that Tesla's NACS connector will be mandatory for companies to use if they want to qualify for state funding that would help expand charging networks. The first was Texas. After Ford, General Motors, and Rivian became the three mainstream automakers to adopt NACS. Charging companies across the United States started putting out statements that they, too, would use the connector for future locations. General Motors joins Ford in adopting Tesla Supercharger network and connector. While the NACS is not yet a standard like the Combined Charging System (CCS), automakers are intent on using Tesla's charging network because of its number of locations, which has swelled well past 45,000 chargers globally earlier this year. The initial adoption of NACS by automakers has encouraged Tanya Buell, Alternative Fuels Program Manager for Washington's Department of Transportation. I'm actually really happy about NACS and how finally automakers are gearing towards one standard. We want to provide access to as many makes and models as possible. It hasn't necessarily been tested and certified for other auto manufacturers. So we want to make sure it's going to work, but we are planning to require NACS at our state-funded and federally funded sites in the future. The state plans to begin the proposals process in the fall, according to Reuters. Washington is still cognizant of the Biden administration's adamance of using the CCS connectors, and state officials are trying to determine the correct spread of NACS connectors to CCS. Federal rules state that taxpayer-backed sites must have 4 CCS connectors, and the state could require, at a minimum, 2 of them to work with NACS. NACS is still working toward becoming a standard, as CharIN is working to let the connector work through its process of due diligence to become one. Source: reposted and summarized from Joey Klender at Teslarati. Texas now requires NACS connectors on government-funded chargers, Washington state likely to follow. Tesla's NACS charging standard has received important support from automakers in the U.S. such as Ford, GM, and Rivian. Many charger manufacturers have also announced they will start offering related equipment to their customers. Texas will now require the NACS charging standard to be included at charging stations that want government funding. And Washington state will do so in the future. On Tuesday, Texas said it would require electric vehicle charging companies to include both the Tesla standard and CCS if they want to be part of a state program to electrify highways with federal money. Texas is the first state to introduce the Tesla charging technology. The move follows 3 automakers in recent weeks announcing they are adopting the North American charging standard NACS. They intend to start production of their electric vehicles with new charging ports starting in 2025. The decision by Ford, GM, and now Rivian to adopt NACS changed requirements for Phase 1 of the rollout. The Texas Department of Transportation said in an email to Reuters on Tuesday, adding that it would require direct current fast chargers to have one CCS and one NACS connector. Washington state is now reportedly considering the possibility of requiring electric vehicle charging companies participating in the federal dollar-funded highway electrification program to also include NACS and CCS. Alternative Fuels Program Manager at Washington State's Department of Transportation Tanya Buell said, Washington plans to require NACS at state and federally funded facilities in the future. Washington intends to begin the request for a proposals process in the fall, the report said. I'm actually really happy about NACS and how finally automakers are gearing towards one standard. We want to provide access to as many makes and models as possible, said Buell. Tesla owns over 60% of the EV market share in the U.S., so it makes sense for the NACS charging standard to be introduced everywhere. Source: reposted and summarized from Eva Fox at Tasmanian. EverCharge supports NACS and calls it superior to CCS1. EverCharge, in an interesting blog post, called Tesla's North American charging standard NACS charging connector superior to the combined charging system CCS1, pointing out several things like no moving parts, half the size, more powerful, and ultimately a far better charging experience. The California-based company, founded in 2013, is a provider of hardware and software EV charging solutions. In March 2022, the company was acquired by SKES, an affiliate of SK Group, as part of a broader $400 million investment. EverCharge was among the first EV charging companies that earlier this month announced full support for NACS. After Ford and General Motors announced the switch to NACS, later followed by Rivian. The company described the CCS1, actually CCS in general, quite harshly, mentioning poor, clunky design and performance. The combined charging system CCS, the so-called preferred charging port among European and American automakers, has long been the elephant in the room. The vast majority of those in the EV industry admit to CCS's poor, clunky design and performance. Yet we've begrudgingly accepted it as the standard since its introduction over a decade ago. EverCharge says that it is ready to provide NACS connectors for its DC fast charging products. When we visited the company's website, we saw that the NACS plug is already listed along the CCS1 as an available option for the 240 kW kWDC fast charger model. We don't know when production and deliveries of NACS-compatible chargers might start. But at least we have a clear signal that the company is open for orders. And we're proud to be a provider of charging solutions that support all vehicles, both NACS and CCS. Upon request, we're ready to provide NACS connectors for our DC fast charging products, allowing our partners to install future-proof charging hardware that meet the needs of current and future EV drivers. In December 2022, EverCharge opened a new 30,000 square foot production factory in Hayward, California. The company's offer includes turnkey charging solutions for fleet and multifamily segments with an interesting dynamic load management system for large-scale networked EV charging installations. Source: reposted and summarized from Mark Kane at Inside EVS. Drone footage shows Tesla Cybertruck production well underway. New drone footage has shown Tesla Cybertruck production is well underway at Giga, Texas, with casting presses now installed. Two 9,000-ton Giga presses were visible in the footage, as were plenty of Cybertruck rear castings. Tesla has been manufacturing alpha versions of the Cybertruck since Q1 2023, as per official factory photos from the automaker. That said, it now appears the EV manufacturer is installing all of the necessary equipment for general production. Cybertruck release candidates. Near production versions that may have a few faults are due in August, with customer deliveries targeted for the end of Q3 2023. Given that likely equates to an end of September delivery event, it makes sense that Tesla is already gearing up for mass production. A leaked video also gave a brief preview of Cybertruck production in action. First revealed in November 2019, the Tesla Cybertruck is undoubtedly the most eagerly anticipated EV of 2023. Currently, Tesla has roughly 1.8 million Cybertruck reservation holders. Given the automaker is expected to manufacture 375,000 units annually, it could take upwards of 4 years before all orders are satisfied. That said, given a Cybertruck can be reserved with a fully refundable $100 deposit, it's safe to say not everyone will be seeing through delivery. Source: reposted and summarized from Ben O'Hare at Inside EVS.